Okay.
Just FYI.
This one for
The new phone? And the new phone.
Oh, yeah.
I love it. I have a case of the camera. Yeah. So like the phone has like the case or other things that yeah.
I bet you the pictures are going to be.
Yeah, we're gonna be in a picture here. Yeah.
How are you? No.
Yeah.
No. One. Nobody passed.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're gonna call it.
So I have a professor. Yep.
Yep. Yes, a lot of that actually. There's some good ones. Yes.
Hey, do you from Sarah's daughter's kid too?
Yeah.
Johnson,
I haven't had a chance to talk to her yet.
that was quite the discovery. That's her daughter.
Wild. Yeah, Taylor just got promoted. She was a 6-month-old. So she's been with Johnson for a while. Like, she was a CSO there for a minute before she got hired out.
Oh. That's in Iowa? It's,
Right over.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's east of it. That's in just south of West Bend, about 20. That's all I for the north and south. Oh, they're on the call. They're not on duty. The West Union. Up in Northeast.
Like an hour from here.
And Butler County.
West.
We got two.
Yeah, that was nice. That was very nice. What's that? How are you?
Good. Hi, everyone. I'm Steve.
Hi, Steve. Nice to meet you, sir.
Hi.
This is my family. I'm Jana.
Jana.
This is my boyfriend Noah.
I know. Good to meet you. Thanks for letting us borrow her for 8 weeks. Or was it 10? 10 weeks. Kind of a homebody. Rather be home.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Ready to go back to work.
Yeah.
Start Monday.
I was gonna say, when do I start?
Might actually be Tuesday.
Okay. He's gonna ask you. Okay. Perfect.
Tuesday.
Okay.
Unless you hear otherwise.
I can check it. See what the schedule is. Sounds good. That guy. That is.
Tradition is just stick it.
Right straight in, right?
Straight in.
That's what I thought. She was giving me these fancy instructions this morning. Don't oblige her. The deal is straight in.
Now.
Don't, I don't know. Yeah, it's live stream.
Yes, I know.
All right.
I'll take my usual seat in the back there.
That's kind of where I heard.
Well, thanks for
We'll talk after, I'm sure.
Right.
They never brought it back.
Parents got it. Where did this come from?
I misplaced it this morning. I had it this morning liquor, so I think I left it at the house. What's that?
You been to school already for a while?
No, this morning kids stayed at
One.
so I went down and worked out. And I realized I didn't have my phone. I stopped by. Stopped by for
Very girly. She was very girly. All the way back.
I work school every day. Usually buy a pair every August, yeah. Yeah, she felt orange and go the guy that's subbing my birthday.
That would have been an awesome one for you. Would you have stood up and done allegedly?
It's kind of funny. He showed up one day to stop
We met your parents already. And they've been to the house, right? Okay, we're gonna do it for them. We need to do it to someone now.
It's hard to cover.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him about that.
You could not laugh.
Now, Jackson is starting wrestling. I guess you're going to sign him up for next year. They have last year. So that's probably a good deal. No, I think they have to go to Kansas City here in a couple weeks.
Why don't you pretend to go back?
I'm talking to him. We should spend an extra night there. Chiefs have Sunday night football. I said, I don't ever want to go back home from Sunday night football. 5 hours.
Innocent. She's so nice. So
I remember that night.
That's what I mean, yeah, she'll bite.
He fell asleep. I drove the whole way home. We got home, he goes, hey. I said, yeah, you fell asleep.
That would be romantic. Oh my gosh.
Oh, this is it. Okay. That's what I understand.
Almost glad because of that.
Wednesday.
Sounded like that. Like we should talk to her family.
Yeah.
Starts on Tuesday.
It could be for both of them.
It could be.
He was excited about the canine someday. He said, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. I like being a hospital. I don't know if I want to see a dog all the time anymore. He said, I like having my dog, but I gotta make it if I want to do that.
Pretty well comfortable.
Yeah, I saw that. Nikki. She what? All to the end? Oh, I didn't know. Or you can sit wherever. You're fine.
too short for that. How bad would he be? I'm a level 1.
No, they're coming.
Yeah, my burnt. Okay. Lemon was made to be and then Ringo.
I'm moving down.
On that side.
Yeah, Tourette's. Yeah. I didn't know.
So you have two.
It's just his friend.
Oh, very
That's just his friend.
I was like, oh, I got one.
Yeah. Now?
What is it?
I have a stack of stuff on top of my lap. No, they can't read it. I just put it up there. Yeah, they won't read it. It's up on it. It's up on the cover of the box. She's so I go and just answer it up there.
Oh, he was really the he looked that's a good looking guy.
You're
says that here.
Looks like we're right on the border. It's like right over by the border. Just look at the border. What?
Yes. I texted her. And I was calling. So I texted her. I just got her back.
Good morning. Good morning. I'd like to welcome you, everybody, here to Hawkeye Community College campus. More specifically, to make sure you're in the right place, this is the graduation of the 89th Regional Academy at Hawkeye. As I say every time, it's absolutely an honor to have every single one of you in here today to celebrate with our graduates today. I want to personally thank you for coming. These officers, you know, they're starting into a career that is, it's dangerous, and it's going to have some long hours, and without your support, they have a lot less likely chance of a long career and success. So your support starting today and throughout their whole process of getting up to this point, absolutely been crucial. We have had some long days. To get into some early mornings and long nights, a lot of physically strenuous days throughout the academy. And there's just some days that we had to actually push them really hard in a mental sense, just to make sure that they can kind of operate under those conditions. So your support absolutely helped them through. Your phone calls, your texts, the encouragement you gave them, it was really valued by them. They've all commented on that, and actually including me, just hearing that they were able to connect back with families and things like that when they were having a week that just seemed like it was never going to end. So that was absolutely crucial, and I hope that you will all continue to give them that support in their careers. This academy absolutely would not be possible if we didn't have the support of our agencies that continue to support us, as well as some agencies that are starting to choose us as a first-time training partner. We constantly look for their feedback and their evaluation, just making sure that we're always moving our goalpost and we're moving the ball at the same time. We never want to get to the goalpost, but we want to make those small moves that we can measure just to ensure that we are staying absolutely current. And so we value your feedback tremendously. Also, thank you for sending us this group of cadets. This was a little younger group than what we've had in some of the other classes, but they all are still kind of developing that high degree of professionalism, and we want to continue to see that in the future. So thank you for trusting us with this initial task in their careers. I do know that days like today, we want to remember them. They deserve to be remembered. So we encourage you to take pictures. Feel free. Just kind of be mindful of obviously other people's vantage point, things like that. There's somewhere around center stage is kind of where we're going to do some photos, and then their badge pinning will be in the immediate front. So just kind of think in your mind right now where you want to be standing for a photo. Okay? We may have some staff in here taking some pictures as well. So if you miss your shot, we may have it elsewhere. We're also live streaming it, so you can watch it to your heart's content later on as well if you choose to do that. So without further ado, you didn't come here to listen to me, so we'll have the 89th class come in and enter, and then we'll get this show on the road. And I'd like to ask you all to stand for our presentation of the college.
Attention.
Would you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Please be seated. So on the first day of the academy, we talk about a lot of things. We have an orientation, and one of the questions we have, we ask all these cadets. We ask them, why do you want to be a police officer? And a lot of you guys, and I think a lot of us probably all said, we want to help people, and that's awesome motivation. But I want to caution you guys. There's going to be those times that motivation is challenged. There's going to be people that we encounter that maybe they just don't seem like they want help. And we might find ourselves starting to lose faith in people. And that's a time we've got to really dig deep. We've got to find a motivation at our core being that says, I'm going to succeed in that mission. Likewise, you might find yourself in a situation that you're going to have to utilize every part of your body and soul to survive. Again, dig deep. Find that voice that says, I'm going to survive this encounter. I'm not going to quit. This job, from this day forward, this never can be something that you just do. This has to become a part of you. So the last couple of months have allowed us to take some opportunities to push ourselves a little bit harder. Sometimes you guys might have needed a little extra push from your teammates, from your classmates. Sometimes that push may have come from me. Some of you, your minds, you might be starting to think back a little bit and saying, man, I wish I would have pushed a little bit harder. You know what? And that's okay. But we got to remember, starting today, we have to perform to the highest expectation possible. After today, your actions and the level you perform at are possibly going to be the difference whether somebody lives or dies. It may be the difference between somebody ever getting to hold their child or their loved one again. It might be the difference of whether somebody looks at you in awe and is ultimately inspired to, pick up the badge, carry that torch of professionalism to the next generation. Today, for that why I want to be a police officer, today's the day you start working towards that. There was another point in the academy where I asked you guys to look around your classmates, and imagine the worst case scenario you could possibly imagine in your life. And then I asked you, who in the room would you want to trust if you could pick 3 or 4 of them? Who would you want to go save your family in that instance? And if you remember, we followed up that question with, were you on your list? And it was a really loaded question. And I don't ask them to tell us, if they were in fact on there. It was just something for them to kind of ponder themselves. But it's something you have to ask yourself every day when you go out in preparation for this job. Am I the best I can be today? You can't wait until you're needing to perform to learn a skill. The time for preparation started a long time ago when you decided down this career path. Every day, learn new skills. Practice those learned skills. Start living a life of mindful presence and awareness. Always asking, that if, then, what. We talked a lot about if, then, and what. Just as we're out in patrol and things like that. Just kind of start thinking about those things that could happen. We have to be really careful not to let our mindset drift over towards, and why not, and how come? Why and how are great questions. They're absolutely great questions to ask, but there's a time and a place and a context necessary when we ask those questions. So at the conclusion of our PT challenge this week, Ren and Blake crossed the line together. And I was like, come on guys, did you both really give 100%? And we'll learn more about that here in a little bit of why I know they did. But when I asked them that, they just gave this absolutely we did. We just kept holding each other accountable and pushing each other throughout the entire thing. I couldn't have said that better myself. So to put it a little simply for you, if you were on your list, stay there. Stay prepared. If you were not, get there and become everything you are meant to be. If needed, as a class, as coworkers and an extended law enforcement family, push each other, hold each other accountable to the purpose. Now, of course, with every class, there's some very unique memories that come out of every class. And for me, no class is ever the same. Each one has their own experiences that you'll never be able to replicate. This class was a very young class compared to some of the other ones we've had. Everybody in here was under the age of 25 when we started. They came with a lot of questions. I think every instructor said, this class asks a lot of questions. But they weren't upset about that. They were very grateful for that. They also offered great feedback that's going to help us prepare for our future groups, especially on new courses and some of our new reality-based training that we're doing. So a few things that I kind of came to my eyes, just the things that I hear and see, being with them for long days and 10 weeks. I'm still really unsure why one of them can't tell the difference between Blake and Miles. I have to remember in a few minutes that Derek and Larry are in fact the same person. As the academy coordinator, this was my 7th class, and this is a very positive thing. This is the first class to not have any test remediations throughout the entire group. Fantastic job there. The next time somebody says this workout's going to be fun, in somebody's mind, they're going to be thinking of me and they're probably just going to stay home. No one in this class will ever forget Blake's laugh. Brady doesn't like flies. Always make sure Tina's on your basketball team. Sometimes it is necessary to drive to your classmate's city just to take pictures to prove you were there. It's worth the trip every single time. We even had a time where we took a little break. We took 30 minutes out of 36 hours of our PT where we played a little basketball, do a little class bonding. We might have had a little fun in the process. Shame on us. There's a lot of memories that generate out of every class, and I try to remember every single one of them. We had some time this morning where we just kind of went through and just people reminded of other memories that you kind of already start some of them you start to lose already, but everybody had something, and some people had more than one, things that they're going to remember. There was bad days, there was hard days. Focus on the positives. In your career, focus on the positives. I'm going to let them share their stories with you as a family members and loved ones, but I hope that they took every opportunity. I hope you took every opportunity to create some long-lasting friendships. I know we'll hear from our class speaker here in a little bit, and he's got a few things to say about the class. So, I would like to recognize our instructors before we kind of get into some of the awards. We have a cadre of about 35 or 36 different instructors that come from all over the place. And without them, we wouldn't be here. Without their dedication, some of them coming off shift and working, giving us a good quality education program, we wouldn't be here. So the list of their names, and it's growing. You'll find that in the bulletin. And always looking for hardworking, dedicated people. And we find them a lot in our region, but we're also finding them all over the place, which has been great. Like I said, we're going to kind of move into the awards. And we have 4 awards that we give to a class. And the first one is our academic award. And this class consisted a little bit over 467 hours of instruction and physical training. Cadets completed approximately 55 assessments. Either those were either practical applications or some of them were just knowledge-based assessments or tests. As a group, they averaged there was 674 achievable points. The class averaged 632 points, making the class average about 93%, 93 and 94%, somewhere in there. Every single one of these officers, like I said, no remediations, they all met our expectations. But every class, we do like to recognize that student that gives that outstanding academic performance. This student achieved a percentage of 98.22%, and that means they missed maybe 11 questions the entire academy. So phenomenal job. Taylor Hepperly from the West Union Police Department. All right, congratulations. Another award we like to give, it's quite an accomplishment considering how much time we spend at the firearms range. We like to recognize the highest firearms score. So this takes the rifle, the shotgun, the pistol, it takes a variety of qualifications throughout all of those components there. And we kind of started calling this the Top Gun Award a long time ago, and it's a nice name. So usually this comes down to 1 or 2 shots. Again, no exception to this class. I believe it was actually 1 point difference between number 1 and number 2 here. And so it's really kind of hard to add up. Class did overall really well on this module. Just like academics, though, we do want to recognize our top performer. And like I said, it came down to 1 shot. So congratulations to Miles Grandin of the Butler County Sheriff's Office. Congratulations. Okay, physical training. Like I said earlier, we spent 36 hours doing physical training. That didn't include times where we might have had to run a little extra or do a few extra push-ups for some sort of small infraction. So we did some additional outside of those 36, but it is one of our larger modules. It's designed to really push the body past perceived limits. I always tell them, like, we can go out and run every day, but that's not really preparing us for duty. So we try to kind of create some activities that are going to generate those kind of similar movements under stress. So we do conclude it, though, with a timed challenge in order to push the students both physically and mentally. Typically, about half the class will come into that, and they'll say, there's no way. I'm going to take at least an hour. Well, I can say that we all completed it under 31 minutes. I can say that now. And so what this test is, we got about a mile run, and then 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and then 100 air squats, and then they got to run another about a mile, about 9/10 of a mile. That challenge, as difficult as that would be on its own, they have to complete it in their body. And so it's kind of daunting when they start looking at it because they have to do those things in order before they can move to the next section. But again, a lot of class encouragement, pushing each other, holding each other accountable. They all were under 30-some minutes. We actually had two people that crossed the line together, set a new record for us, 12 seconds faster than the previous record. So that challenge, combined with a couple of times where we actually have them test to the minimum standards, and we based it on their percentage above, so kind of figure the math out there. Those three ranges are established and averaged and ranked within the class. And then we take that PT challenge and kind of rank that in there as well, and we come out with someone who performed very well physically throughout the entire academy and pushed people and challenged people. So the highest scorer throughout all those tests and the recipient of the Physical Training Award is Blake Welper with the Cresco Police Department. Congratulations, Blake. So like I said earlier, I said Blake and Ren crossed that line together with a time of 19 minutes and 30 seconds. That was 12 seconds faster than our previous record. So every time I think that record is going to hold, I am simply amazed at the performance of some human beings. So our last official award that we give it's a director's award. This is about a 3-year-old award now. And this is basically taking the person that highest ranked among firearms, physical training, and academics. So kind of a real well-rounded person. In addition, they can't have had any tardies, unexcused absences, or have left any equipment behind for the duration of the academy. We also ask that some instructors that spent a lot of time with them, we ask them, who to you demonstrated the highest level of professionalism throughout all of their encounters? So they have to have that endorsement from an instructor as well on this one. And that can vary. And we had several names that kind of popped up. So if they were not at least recommended by one instructor, they were not eligible for this award. And so for the Director's Award for this one, which we don't have that award here because you have to get that one printed because it wasn't really determined until yesterday. But we'll invite them back down, them and a guest, to come down, and myself and former coordinator Kramer will take them out to supper and just kind of catch up with them in a few weeks. And we'll present their award to them then. But for now, I'd like to recognize them. So Taylor Hepperly from the West Union Police Department. Congratulations. Taylor was also nominated early on in the academy as the class leader, and he did a phenomenal job with that. I think you've decided you never want to be the police chief. So he did a great job at just kind of making sure that line of communication was open between people, and that's always kind of a daunting one for people, especially when you have a group in such a small age bracket. So nice job. Okay, well now we get to work into some class. We have a class speaker. This is the students kind of nominate this speaker, and then after that we'll have our instructor speaker come up, and we will have Ren Katizovich come up from the Waterloo Police Department. And I just totally messed up his name.
Good morning. I would like to give a huge thank you to everyone who came today and for being here to watch these amazing police officers walk across the stage. As Ben already stated, my name is Renai Katezovich, and I'm honored to be the class speaker for this academy class. In order to be the class speaker, you have to be voted in for by your classmates. To make a long story short, that was not my case. I made a joke saying I wanted to be a class speaker for graduation. Yes, I know, worst mistake. I did not know why I made that joke because I'm terrible at giving speeches. After practicing for a while, I'm more prepared. Before I start my speech, I would like to share a quote that stuck with me throughout the academy. The quote states, "I have been where you feared to be. I have seen what you feared to see. I have done what you feared to do. I keep going when you give up." The reason this quote stuck with me was even during the hard times in life, there's no giving up. Even when you feel like giving up, you simply cannot. The mind will tell you to give up, but it's all about being mentally prepared for anything that comes your way. When you go through a tough moment in life, there will always be a better moment soon after that. Thus, we should keep pushing no matter what. During the academy, there were some challenging things that we achieved, but at the end of the day, we're all standing on here at the stage because we did not give up and we kept pushing through. I'd like to give a huge thank you to Ben and our instructors dedicating their time to help us grow and become better police officers. Each of the instructors taught us important techniques, procedures, good communication skills, and provided us with more knowledge to be successful during our careers. Without them, we wouldn't have learned all the things we were taught. They gave us crazy drills to complete and even told us crazy stories throughout the academy. And Ben, the class will also like to thank you for being a role player in every scenario and always going 110%, even though every time you will say, I won't go as hard. Ben does an amazing job with this academy and spends a lot of time giving us real-life scenarios and educating us throughout the 10 weeks. I would also like to thank all the family members, friends, and loved ones for not giving up on us and pushing through these tough times. I know during these 10 weeks, it was hard not seeing family, communicating with each other, not being at home as much, but the wait is finally over, and I know each and one of my classmates are ready to be home to spend time with their families and loved ones. This academy class was very special for me for many reasons. During the beginning of the academy, I was a bit nervous because I was the youngest one in the group. I remember the very first day of the academy, we all had to say one thing about ourselves, and some of my classmates' facts were they were married or getting engaged, and one of my classmates even has a kid. In my mind, I was thinking, geez, I'm stuck with adults for the next 10 weeks. This is going to be terrible. I was wrong though. The very first week, I would say we connected very quickly. We were all open to each other and became friends with each other. The thing I loved about my classmates was during the 10 weeks, they always made sure I was paying attention in class, making sure I was taking notes for the test, reminding me to pay attention when other instructors stated, this stuff is going to be on the test, or when we were reviewed before a test. Another reason I love this class is because every week for the past 10 weeks, I came up with a class dance. I do not remember all of them, but I remember the favorite one that everyone made me do, which I will not be showing today. Now we'll be talking about some good memories we had as a class. The first thing was class dinners. During each week, we would get together and pick somewhere to eat. The reason this was a good memory, not only for me, but for all of us, is because we got to hang out together while being in the classroom all day, and we could all just sit and talk and crack jokes to each other while we enjoyed our meals. During these class dinners, we were able to get to know each other better and to know each other outside the academy, which made the bond very strong. We could also state who ate the most food, who ordered the weird things off the menus, and we also learned that one of our classmates has not been to half the food places we had been to, which surprised all of us because every spot he stated, yeah, I've never been here before. The second memory during the academy was driving pursuits. I will break these two apart. Driving would be the first one. The reason this was a good memory was because one of Ben's rules was if you hit a cone, you had to do 10 push-ups. And let me tell you, we all had to do a lot of push-ups, which was awful. During this class, I had to rethink how we all got our driver's license because everyone knocked over a ton of cones, and for some reasons, those drills were somewhat difficult. After a couple of days of driving, we switched over to a class called Pursuits. Pursuits, in my opinion, were very fun. Not only because we did them at night, but who doesn't like to feel the adrenaline rush and the effects it has on the body, and a controlled environment doing a task we could possibly encounter in our careers. Pursuits was difficult because there were cones, we had to use a radio, answer questions from an instructor, had a backup car to deploy stop sticks, all while in a pursuit with the bad guy with a distraction card to throw us off. After the stop sticks were deployed, it turned into a fun stop. We all know by now, more cones and all the distractions means more push-ups. The third good memory was building searches. The reason this was a good memory for us was because we got to use simulation guns, which is a gun that has simulation bullets, and they somewhat hurt when you get shot by them. I mean somewhat, I mean they hurt. Since we were able to use these training tools, it allowed us to really feel the stress of the training scenarios, which helped us feel the effects as close to the real world as possible. This helped us remember the information we were taught. During building searches, we each got to play as a role player, and let me tell you, some of my classmates were playing the role players a little bit too extreme, which made the scenarios better. During these times, I realized some of the guys discovered a higher pitched tone to their voices and could be very dramatic with scenarios. But we all know as now, there's only one best role player, and it was me. Just because I had some good hiding spots, and half the class couldn't take me serious, which made it extra challenging. Along with building searches, we had to act as shooter scenarios. The overall lesson for this class is do not, I repeat, do not volunteer to be a role player. I made a big mistake by being a role player. For the first part of class, I had to play as a shooter in a school, and the officer was supposed to come in and gauge the threat. But since they all love me, I quote, love me, they like to shoot roughly 4 to 8 shots at me, which made me double think about being a role player after this. This class was not only fun, but very special to all of us. We had to really think about how fast we had to respond to a call like this, and how quickly we had to react in order to save many people in school. I saved the best memory for last, which was OC Day. This day sucked because it was on a Friday, and we were all stressed all week for it. Just a general tip for anyone who wants to be a police officer. Their quote, "I'd rather get tased than OC sprayed," is 100% true, and I recommend bringing a fan. The reason this was a good memory was because even though it sucked getting sprayed, everyone supported and helped each other out. I cannot describe you what the pain feels like, but all I know is when you come to the water bucket to rinse your eyes off, you feel like you were drowning underwater. After the day came to an end, I went home and almost threw my OCO spray away because I never wanted to do it again. So Laura, you might have to give me a new OC spray. As this is coming to an end, I talked about all the happy memories with this class. Now this may come emotional to some people, but I'll try my best not to make it as emotional. I just want to thank all my classmates and Ben for being by my side for the past 10 weeks and building a bond I will never forget. You guys were not only my classmates or my friends, you were like family to me, and I want to thank all you guys. I wish you guys the best of luck at the departments. If you ever need anything, you should all have my business card. If not, come see me after this. I will never forget all the crazy dance moves I built with you all, and all the crazy amount of memories that I have with each and one of you. I would like to stay in contact with every single one of you and continue building the friendship we've made in the academy. I'm happy I got to spend the last 10 weeks with you all. Also, Ben, class, I'd like to give this plaque to you. I want to thank Steve Martin of the Butler County Sheriff's Office for making this plaque. It was just a commemoration for us because we were the best class and the funniest class, and you would never have a Reggie in the class ever again. Just want to end it off by saying be safe, and I love you all.
Nice job. Our next speaker is, again, this is one that the students actually pick. And what we tell them is about the halfway point, maybe a little past the halfway point. You start kind of thinking about an instructor that really means something to you. And just somebody who really connected with you and you felt should be worthy of representing your class. So for this class, they chose Lieutenant Michael Gersh from the Waterloo Police Department. Mike teaches us with, he does some felony calls, some drug investigations, building searches, and firearms. So he's got quite a list of things he's involved in with us, and we're grateful for him, and the class was very, very grateful for him.
Good morning, officers, family and friends, and all the law enforcement professionals that are here to support the graduates today. I would first like to extend my appreciation to the graduating officers and the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy for this opportunity to speak with you today. I'm truly honored and humbled to have been selected to be part of your graduation ceremony. I have a tremendous amount of respect for you all who have decided to enter in this profession during these challenging times, so I applaud you. frankly, I'm a little surprised you let me still be your speaker. I had them out on the range at 8 in the morning on Wednesday. It was about 22 degrees when we got out there, so they fought through it. It made them tough, but I was really impressed that there was no real complaints out on the range. They just did it, and they'll be better for it. When I was first asked to speak today, I thought to myself, what's the best advice I can give these officers on their final day at the police academy? I thought about topics such as mental health and law enforcement, training and safety issues, the winning mindset, and many other pertinent topics that they could probably hear about today. Although there are a lot of words, core values, mission statements, mottos in law enforcement, I landed on just 3 words. I felt these 3 words would give them the best chance of being successful on day 1 at their agencies, and I'm confident these newly certified officers will embrace them. Credibility. Your credibility is number 1. It's the best attribute you can possess in this job. Without it, you're worthless to your department. If you lose your credibility, if you can't be trusted, what good are you to submit a report, testify at trial, or handle evidence? We've all seen the news, incidents of police officers breaking their oath and dismantling the public's trust. These are the very things that burn bridges between the police and community. So I implore you, do not give in to those temptations or behaviors. Hold yourself to that higher standard and use every opportunity of every shift to build credibility or a credible reputation for yourself. We're entrusted by our government with a great amount of authority and power. With that comes responsibility. With reasonable suspicion, we have the power to detain people and limit their movements. With probable cause, we have the authority to take away someone's freedom. When warranted, we have the right to invade people's homes or even search their private effects. And in some cases, when necessary, we have the authority to use deadly force against another human being. These are responsibilities you should not take lightly. But if you carry yourself with the highest level of integrity, you will remain a credible protector to your community. Failure to do this, you're not only tarnishing your reputation, but the reputation of approximately 1 million others who wear the badge. Articulation. Police work is a world of articulation. We must articulate everything we do to justify why we did what we did. Our responsibility to articulate becomes greater and greater every single day, especially as the world expects us to operate like robots, free of mistakes, even while under the greatest of stress in the most complex scenarios. Articulating isn't just for your typed reports either. We must become experts in verbal articulation so that we can paint the picture for all those who may hear it. When we're testifying to the judge and jury, we want them to think, holy crap, is that Morgan Freeman on the stand narrating the story? I'm sure some of these people have no idea who that is. But we want them to be captivated by it, okay? We may have to articulate our commands to an agitated suspect in order to get them to comply with our orders, or express our thoughts and ideas clearly and effectively to the upset parent after you arrest their child. Maybe you get the unfortunate assignment of conducting a death notification. Regardless of what message we're trying to pass on, we must be able to explain it clear and accurate. The days of a brief explanation, especially when concerning use of force, are long gone. We can't just say, suspect resisted arrest, and officer escorted him to the ground. You have to articulate the smallest details to truly explain why you felt it was necessary to do what you did. Your goal, as you write or speak, has to be to justify your actions 100%. Do not skimp in this area, and do not be lazy. You owe it to your department, and even the defendant, to explain why things were done that way. Trust your training and experiences, that they will guide you to a well-documented and justified incident. Through your words, you have to make those reading it or listening believe as though they were right there with you, and to believe you. You will inevitably be required to use force on another human being, and it may happen on your first day. This is not something we look forward to, but it is a necessary task of the job to ensure public safety. Proper articulation will be your ticket to a positive outcome. Ownership. Own your flaws and your fears. If you make a mistake, own it and accept responsibility. You will be respected more if you're willing to admit that you made a mistake and you're going to fix it, compared to denial, deflection, and blaming others. failure is part of the recipe for success. One of the best ways to improve is learning from your mistakes, putting a plan together, and coming back better. So embrace your own weaknesses without losing confidence. On the flip side, own your successes. Be proud of your accomplishments and don't shy away from new challenges. Do not be discouraged by others who have given up already and only aim to bring everyone else around them down. Own the fact that you have goals and aim to keep rising. As for owning your fears, we all have them. It's human nature. You will be met with unthinkable situations throughout your career, and naturally some of these will instill fear. But there's a difference between having a fear and the fear having you. Do not let your fears overtake your mission. Harness them and use them in a positive manner. Fears can heighten our senses and prepare us for the fight, protecting us and keeping us out of danger. In closing, I want to remind you, not everybody can do this job, nor should everybody. It's not easy. If it were easy, everybody would do it. It takes a special person, a resilient person, to navigate this career. After spending many hours with your class during a variety of training courses, some colder than others, I truly appreciate each one of you. I truly believe each one of you has what it takes to be successful in law enforcement. So please remember and apply these 3 key words each day, and always be safe. Thank you. Good luck.
So we're going to move into the presentation of certificates, which these guys have been working for 10 weeks for kind of this moment. Please feel free, give them some vocal affirmation and support as they receive their certificate. It is a celebration after all. If you're planning on taking pictures, we're going to have them kind of pause right here, and then we'll have them pause up in the front for the badge pinning. As part of their walk, they'll also participate in that pinning, but some of our instructors are also going to be kind of down here to kind of give them a last minute of congratulations. As well as Acting Director Poole of the Iowa Law Enforcement Academy has come up today to help them celebrate. So thank you for coming to our graduation. And you guys ready? Yes, you are. So I want to briefly talk about the police badge when it comes to this pinning. Not everybody understands what that's about. It is the most visible and recognizable symbol of policing around the world. The use of badges goes way back, Middle Ages back. This is when like commoners and nobility would have an insignia to represent their house. And you might have referred to differently, maybe as a coat of arms. And that coat of arms represented an allegiance to a group or a house. Likewise, the badge that you wear, the shield that you wear is representation of the allegiance to your community you serve, the trust the public has bestowed upon you, and it also represents every single other officer that has received a badge before you and that will receive after you. Earning your badge today represents just the tangible result of the last 10 weeks. All the hard work and achievements over our time together, and each of you have chosen a special person to remember the moment. So as the cadets' names are called, they're going to receive their certificate, and then we'll ask kind of around that time to have their selected person kind of meet them up in the front. They'll get their certificate here, they'll work their way around, meet you there, and then they'll come back up and sit with their classmates. And once we get them all done, then we'll get it to our final dismissal, and let's get the show on the road. So our first graduate was Deputy Miles Grandin of the of the Butler County Sheriff's Office. Officer Nathan Graves of the Jessup Police Department. Officer Taylor Hepperly of the West Union Police Department. Officer Renaid Kajtazevich of the Waterloo Police Department. Officer Tina Lair Van Meter from the Boone Police Department. Officer Derek Litweiler of the Manson Police Department. Deputy Bailey Onazorg from the Dubuque County Sheriff's Office. Officer Elise Reeves from the Waterloo Police Department.
Woo!
Officer Sarah Shellhammer from the Johnston Police Department. Officer Brady Tyler, Waterloo Police Department. Officer Blake Welper from the Cresco Police Department. Congratulations to you all. You all earned the right to be here today. Officer Welper, will you dismiss the class for the last time?
Class, attention! For the last time, this will be our last dismissal. I wish you all the best of luck in your guys' careers and stay safe. And if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to call. Class dismissed.
The youngest dude all the way back.
I like the beard.
years. I was only going to stay 6 years in age. You got to do it well. Yeah, boy. I know him. Oh, Plus waste.
Okay.
We're leaving this afternoon. So I'll let you know how it goes. But it's either going to be, it's either going to, I mean, it's going to be an unbelievable experience. But there's a chance that I put on my stuff.
Okay, who's next?
And I looked up and I'm like,
I had to convince myself.